I've referred to the principle and foundation as a way to reorient yourself to reality, the reality that you are created by God who loves you, the reality that you are not the center, but God is. Women have had to reorient themselves throughout a long history of oppression. When culture said we were merely some man's property, we had to learn how to think of ourselves as persons with inherent dignity and identity. We had to reorient ourselves to have a vote, pursue a profession, and get equal treatment under the law. We could not achieve in any of these areas until first, in our own minds and hearts, we considered the truth about ourselves. Long before culture reoriented us, we were doing it inwardly and within the safety of our own community. As a group, we've had to learn indifference too. How many women have led the way spiritually, even as they suffered greatly at home or in the workplace or even in the church? We have developed the ability to embrace life when life is not easy. We've learned to pray while in deep pain. I'm not saying that women have already come to the spiritual centeredness described in the principle and foundation, only that in some ways our troubled history has begun that process already. I wouldn't be the first person to say that St. Ignatius tapped a lot of feminine wisdom when he was developing the spiritual exercises. That's not too surprising because Ignatius had significant help and friendship from spiritually mature women during that period of his life. The principle and foundation holds plenty of challenge for women. After a long fight and a continuing struggle for equality, we still must learn not to grasp at recognition, professional success, or even our right to make our own decisions. We must keep cultivating the trust in God that will allow us to become open-handed and open-hearted. As God loves other persons and the whole creation through us, it's necessary that we become vulnerable. And it's tough to be vulnerable if you're still recovering from others taking advantage of your vulnerability or using your openness for their own agendas. And after all the time and energy we spent growing in our confidence and self-sufficiency, we hesitate to rely on anyone outside ourselves. Yet, if we are oriented to reality, we will indeed rely on God and ask for help when we need it. We will admit when we don't have a clue. We will be honest about our fears and limitations. And we'll get the rest we need, knowing that God designed us for good, fulfilling work and also welcomes us into periods of retreat and renewal.